We have Matt Ligotti here. He's the co-founder of Knox Media.
Yep.
Just if you don't know who Knox Media is, they're like just one of the dopest people in, would you say, just the music media industry?
Talent space. Starting to branch out more into the brand world as well.
Yeah.
So trying to get more of those brand clients, but started really passionately in music and talent. So
I fuck with the hat. I just peeped it, dude.
yeah, it's a Knox.
I like the hat, dog.
2025. No, I gotta get some extras.
Yeah, bro. You gotta get that merch.
We didn't print enough.
You gotta get that merch. Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, you're killing it, bro. Like working with crazy celebrities, going to the festivals. I wanna let's start off because we have a lot to talk about. So like let's kind of start off. Were you ever that kid that was like fresh out of high school or like living in your mom's basement, just like, what do I do with my life?
Yeah, I mean, high school, I'm not gonna lie, I was like almost failing every single year.
Yeah, same.
Like I just did not. Can I curse?
Of course.
I did not fuck with school.
Like at all, like not even, because there was some classes that I liked.
There
like,
were some classes I liked.
Was there like business classes, gym? Yeah,
I went to
gym was
Catholic high school, so I had like.
What does that mean?
I didn't even have like a business class. I had like religion, Italian, history. You know.
Where'd you grow up?
Staten Island.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So very, very private school vibes, but. Yeah, I mean, when I graduated, I was lucky. When I graduated high school, I got a scholarship into this college. I didn't really like care to go into like a specific college. I was passionate about like creating photography and videography and shit like that. But I mean, I got this like scholarship to this school in the city. I was like, I don't want to go too far. I want to be close to family. I want to be, like still in New York. And I landed myself at NYIT, which is in Manhattan.
Sick.
And then from there, I studied design. My older brother is a art director, so I sort of like was looking at what he was doing, and I was like, "Damn, this is some cool shit." And then,
wait, when you say design, you mean like graphic design?
Graphic designer.
Oh
yeah.
shit. Okay, so
I
like
studied,
logos and fucking.
Yeah. Studied graphic design, and then I was like, "This ain't enough."
Yeah.
Like just the screen and like being behind the screen ain't enough. So I started getting into photography more and more, and. Yeah, I mean, I was living in Manhattan. I hated it because it was just like, well, how old are you when you're in college? Like 18?
Yeah, 18 to 20.
18,
24
19, 20,
sometimes.
Yeah. So like being in the city, it was just a lot. So I moved back home.
I feel like the city's either hit or miss. Either you fucking love it and it's like what you bleed, or you're just like, bro, I'm not fucking about that life.
So like I think being just like thrown into Manhattan and then like keeping up with college and keeping up with like the courses. Like I said, I wasn't good at school, so I'm gonna be honest.
Even with the thing that you were like passionate about, like even with the graphic design stuff.
Yeah,
like,
so college, I got a lot better. I started to learn like what I needed to do to pass. But high school, I fucking hated. High school, fucking hated.
Yeah, high school blows.
And then college, I moved back in with my parents. I was like, I wasn't a big fan of like the whole city, so I commuted into the city for school. I did like 3 or 4 days a week, and I got my bachelor's, which was great. And then what,
Right.
But it don't really mean shit. Got that internship with Gary V, VaynerMedia.
So that was your first job out of school?
Yeah. Well, I know I had a lot of like smaller jobs. I was doing like mom and pop kind of shit. I was doing music videos for
Same
people.
Same type of thing? Okay, cool.
Same type of thing. Shooting like photos for like family events.
This was all photography at the time?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
I did some logos and stuff for family, but like, I mean, unfortunately, design doesn't pay as much as video. Unless you're a really good designer.
It's like the top 1%. Yeah.
And now with AI, it's like getting even scarier.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Even with video, it's scary, dude.
It's scary.
I'm like, it's just a matter of time. Yeah, bro.
What is that called?
The Firefly one too on Adobe?
Yeah.
It's like, dude.
Yeah, it's scary. To answer your question, though, I lived with my parents for a while. I mean, I came from a big Italian family. My parents still want me to move back home some days.
Dude, you can't mention Gary V and then like brush over it like it was nothing. So like, wait, all right. So hold on. So like, you're like kind of like finding your footing, working mom and pops, and then all of a sudden you just there's a application or something. Indeed, like
Gary wasn't who Gary is today. He was doing like wine library. He was doing like small shit. Just starting like
just
Ask Gary
businessman
V.
type.
Yeah, just businessman type shit. So honestly, I applied on Indeed to like I think it was 10 different internships while I was a junior in college, and I think Vayner was one of the couple that hit me back, and I was like, I don't know who the fuck.
Did you give him a
Vayner's.
portfolio or anything?
Yeah, portfolio. I had a lot of music videos under the belt. I
But
had
photos for music videos or video?
mostly video.
Oh, so you were
Mostly
doing
video.
both.
Yeah,
You
I
were
was doing
doing
both.
okay, okay.
Did a
Got
bit
it,
of a
got it, got it.
hybrid. I have a lot of friends who are artists, so I was doing like a lot of like YouTube covers, and
Okay.
I was working with some like local DJs in Staten Island.
This was all you filming, editing,
Oh, everything.
directing.
I was charging $250 for a music video.
That's
and,
insane,
and this was like
dude.
a day of shooting and like a day of maybe multiple days of editing. I was charging $250, but that's how you start, right? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to do like the free internships. I wanted to like grind a bit, get some more of my equipment. I got like the 5D Mark III, right? That was like the industry standard.
Nice.
And then
Was that Canon?
Yeah, Canon.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm a Sony guy.
I mean, now so am I. Anybody who's Canon, I don't know. I see you got what?
Look, for photography, I'm Canon all day. That R5 is fire.
So I just kept upgrading my shit while I was doing these like cheap sort of music videos. And then, I mean, I started building a portfolio with that, right? Like I had a couple videos go like 1 million. I was like,
oh, word.
This was like when YouTube was like,
What year are we talking?
Let me see.
2015,
I
2016.
graduated in college in 2011, 2012, probably when I started creating some content.
You how old are you?
Graduated high school in 2011.
Oh, that's when you okay. Got
So
it,
like
got
during
it.
high school, I was creating
Those bangers.
The end of high school, I started like creating content with friends. Then I got into college. I studied design, but I was doing all this video shit on the side that was paying me. Design was just like logos and shit that I really wasn't passionate about. So I started to like pivot halfway through college. I actually went to my advisor and I was like, "Hey, can I switch to like a film major?" And they were like, "Yeah, you can, but you have to do an extra like year or two." So I was like,
Oh,
fuck
shit.
that. So I stayed with like my Bachelor of Fine Arts in design. And then at the end of the day, it's like a degree is really just, in the creative space is more your portfolio. So that's why I was more passionate about like doing these music videos. I was doing, like small DJ type, like behind the scene type gigs. And then I was just growing portfolio, growing a small bank account to reinvest my money into more equipment.
Nice.
So that was the start of it.
Dude, I mean, but that's got to be kind of like so like good for your like self-confidence if you're making a video and you're getting like 1 million views off of it.
I mean, I had some talented artists I was working with. There was a lot of artists from Staten Island, Brooklyn, and they were just like talented people creating like covers, all like indie artists. And then, I mean, covers back then were like hidden. I remember there was a lot of like big artists who were doing like cover videos, and they were hidden. And we started like growth hacking. We started like putting specific, thumbnails out. We started putting like specific keywords in the title, right? Like if you put the song title first and then cover by X artist, it's like ways to like hack the system a little bit.
True.
But now it's YouTube. I mean, these algorithms are always changing, so it's keeping up. It's tough now.
Yeah, I don't try to focus on hacks too much. It's more so just like the main, just how do you maintain, like garner and then maintain attraction.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell me more about Gary Vee, dude. Okay, so you get
Put
hired.
this on fucking airplane mode because I got some my Nest notifications.
Now you're good, dude. I was about to say you could leave it off of airplane mode just in case, I don't know if there's like some fires you need to put out.
No.
You good?
Yeah, we're good.
So Gary Vee's like, oh man, I love you, bro. I'm gonna hire you.
I mean, it wasn't Gary specific.
I know. But
It was one of the HR team, like people who were like, "Oh, you want to apply for this internship?" And this was when Vayner was like,
Was it paid or unpaid?
it was paid stipend, like
Cool.
just enough to like get you there and back and eat some food.
True.
But which is surprising because Gary's always like preaching for free work, which is I'm a big believer in like donating your time for at least a couple months. But luckily enough, this was paid because we had to be in the office like 3 days a week.
True.
So this was pre-COVID days. So applied, they called me back. First like internship, like serious job in the city. I was like, this is fucking nerve-wracking. Went there, pretty much showed them my work, and they like were expanding so rapidly this time. They were, I think, like 250 people at like total. Now they're like probably 2,000 people.
Right? Yeah.
So I think I didn't meet Gary until like a week or two in because we had like a whole onboarding sort of program. It's like 2 weeks of like learning what Vayner is, learning all about the company. And then finally like Gary came in and we were like, oh shit, like this guy's for real. So you can sort of feel his energy when he walks in the room.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just always got this high energy, like knows the answer before you even ask the question.
That's cool, man.
So riding that, I was there for 4 years, from being an intern to like a senior videographer, and riding that wave, like it was the timing was like perfect. I couldn't have asked for better timing, you know?
Yeah. I feel like life has a funny way of like making you prepare for something. And it's like that whole like luck is preparation plus opportunity or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And it's just like if you train hard enough, eventually you're gonna get an opportunity and it's luck, but like you also worked
Yeah,
hard for that.
no, for sure.
What
And you have
what
to apply yourself, right? You can't just like expect it to come and
yeah, I
land on
hate
your
that. It's
fucking
like, oh, I'm
plate.
gonna manifest reality, but I'm just gonna stay home all day. It's like,
Yeah,
bro, that's not how it works.
yeah.
Like
No, you need to
you gotta
apply
fucking do
yourself.
something. But like, okay, so was it all like the BT? Like when you say videographer for Gary Vee, I'm thinking you're following him around vlog style. Is
Yeah,
that
so
what you
this
were doing?
was actually D Rock and I like started
Oh, it's so
around the
crazy. You
same
know D
time.
Rock.
Yeah.
I was hearing him about. I don't know who. I don't even know what
Yeah.
he looks like.
So D Rock started at Vayner as a full time employee at the same time I started as like an intern. So I remember seeing him. So this is when Gary like, was barely even doing his like Ask Gary V show. He was like getting into that kind of flow.
True.
So this is early days, Gary.
That's wild.
2015. No. Am I aging myself? My God. I should have got a timeline before I came here.
You're good.
I think it's
dude.
20. I think it's around 2015 where we like 2014, 2015. So it was early days. He
That's
had like one or two
cool.
books out. And yeah, I mean, D Rock was just getting in there. So like, it was like an extension of college. It was like a lot of young people, a lot of energy. I was working with brands when I first started. So I wasn't working on Gary's team. I was working at the studio department. So we were shooting all kinds of content like DSLRs and iPhones and just cranking out micro content. This was when Instagram was still heavy photos. There was no TikTok.
Yeah.
There was Twitter, right? Like, so we were doing a lot of Instagram content, a lot of photos, a lot of YouTube shorts. No, well, not shorts, but YouTube videos that would then get cut down into shorter form content. But it was an interesting time, bro.
You know what's cool is like, and this is something that took me forever to like realize, but a lot of people don't understand the amount of work and like effort it takes on the back end to create a machine
Yep.
like Gary Vee. And so it's cool that because I still haven't experienced it firsthand, but you
Yep.
have, right?
Yep.
And so you're seeing how much fucking content they're actually and how much content they're making that they probably don't even post because it didn't make the cut.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you give me or like a peek behind the curtain and like what did that look like? How did that feel? Was that stressful? Like how much?
At Vayner,
Yeah.
I mean, at Vayner, we were creating a lot of different types of content. We had anything from like a major bank to like
Because Vayner's a
Soda.
media company.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, so
Yeah.
you're not only making media for Gary, but you're also making it for all his.
I wasn't even touching Gary's content. That's the crazy thing. Vayner was so interesting in the fact that they had smaller teams, like micro teams within the office. So like Gary had his own division, the Gary V team. Vayner Productions had
How
its
big
own.
are these teams? Like 10, 15 people?
Depends, yeah, 10, 20 people. Vayner Productions was like 20, 25 people. That was the internal production house that was servicing all of Vayner Media's clients. So like Vayner Media was an agency true to form, like community management, paid media. So they also had a paid team, right? The paid team is working with the account managers. Account managers need content. They're going to the production team. I was on the production team that was responsible for like editing a lot of micro content. And we were also like, we had like a closet, like it was a small closet in Manhattan, and we were shooting like micro content for like Swedish Fish, for example. Like the craziest shit. And I was like 19, 20. So I was like creating content for brands that I used to love as a kid and still do love. So like the experience was like irreplaceable. And that's the kind of shit that I feel like if you can find yourself that first job, and if you can like crush it and put the extra time when you're young, that's where you can, you know, succeed to the next level. Of course, different scenarios. People might not live near New York City now. Hopefully there's more remote opportunities, but that was like irreplaceable, that kind of experience.
Yeah, that's awesome. I also feel like it's just like such a rush. It's almost like a dream. It's just like, oh shit. And then like, I mean, I don't know if like, cause at what time did Gary Vee like really like pop off where he was just like everywhere? Was it like 18, 19? That was during COVID, I think. 'Cause that's like, right? So it
Honestly,
like
when
19,
I was
20?
there, I think the company's like 250 people. Every single week we would see like people onboarding, like 20, 30 new hires coming in. So the agency was ramping up as his personal brand was ramping up. And that's a big thing with like his personal brand is his, you know, it's his moneymaker. It's also bringing new clients in. It's bringing V friends, everything to him. So it makes sense.
I want to talk about two things. One, what were your takeaways from like the operation of how he focused towards clients? Let's start with that.
How he focused towards clients. He Vayner as a whole taught me how to stay experimenting and
In what sense?
social media algorithms. If Twitter changes their name to X, or if Instagram launches Threads, like jump on that ASAP. So like he was, and the whole company was the culture was like, if there's a new platform or a new place where we need to be, that's where our attention is. They weren't like
All of their attention? Like how does,
they were shifting more their attention towards that.
even if
right?
they know something that's working, like if they're on Instagram and it's working and then all of a sudden TikTok pops up, they're going to shift most of their attention on TikTok?
I'm sure there's a split, but they would at least dedicate
Focus
like
a
the
lot of
next 2
attention.
weeks. Yeah.
True.
You know,
just
like-
experiment, right? I'm assuming. And then once they
experiment.
see what the numbers come back as, they'll
exactly.
readjust.
And then now you see like Threads is like falling off, but
Yeah.
I think Gary's really good at that. I think Gary's like, they're more of an attention agency. They're not just like a traditional agency, right? Like you can go to any of the big dogs and they'll give you the copywriting and the ads and the plan to like create a dope campaign, but is that where the attention is? You know, like are people still watching TV commercials? Super Bowl, yes. But outside of that, something I really learned at Vayner though was like the power that you have when you're creating content on social media versus like a billboard or a TV commercial is you can track every single aspect of it. So like you can see how it's doing versus like billboard can be up. You're really only tracking conversions by calls or if people scanning a QR code.
Yeah.
But I mean, social media, it's right there. All the analytics and everything are right there for you.
How have you implemented like what you've learned from Gary's and how he operates in your business?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that culture of experimenting is important, right? Like don't get too comfortable, especially in digital social media. You can't be too comfortable. Like
I feel like in life too, dude.
In life, too.
Comfort's like the root of all like death of growth. I feel like
it's
you can't
very
grow
true.
from that. Yeah.
Being, I mean, that's why I feel like every 2 years I like move. That's why even I was
Dude, I
telling
got
you,
married and 2 kids in 2 years, dude,
Yeah.
just because I needed to change. I was getting too comfortable.
I feel now you need another kid.
I need another kid. It's time's up.
Nah, but I definitely agree with that. Like if I see my routines are like the same for like a year or two, I'm like, I'm getting bored. Something's got to change, you know?
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I found a nice fiance. I don't think I'll change her, but
That's awesome, man. It's important,
but
man.
even then, like, you know, it's just tough. Like, I think with that entrepreneurship, like you always want to keep improving. You don't want to like stay stagnant for more than a year or two. I feel like that's how I personally approach it. So like even at Knox, right? Like we're 5 years old. We're always trying to get better and better, like trying to double it.
How'd you get the name? What's the name?
Knox.
Yeah.
My co-founder Sam and I, we were living in Brooklyn at the time, and we were just like Googling a bunch of names. We were like, all right, we need a name. We already have like a client ready to go. We need a name. And
So you just had one client at this point
we
in
had
time.
one client, yeah. But
Oh,
we were
shit.
still like him and I both worked at Vayner, so we were transitioning out of Vayner, and we were like meeting on nights and weekends, putting in extra time, and we were looking up a bunch of names, and we were like Roman, Greek gods. We worked a lot in like nightlife because one of our first clients was Black Coffee House DJ. So we were like, all right, nightlife, house music, and Nox. I believe it means the Greek god of the night or the Greek goddess of the night. So that's like Nox became our like
That's cool.
goddess of the night kind of vibe.
The only one I know that who utilized the Greek goddess was like Nike.
Nike, yeah. And honestly, I think we sort of reference that. We're like, all right, what other brands are like dope that are short, easy? I mean, it is a SEO sort of nightmare sometimes because it's 3 letters. So we put Knox Media to make it the full similar to you. Goose Media. Right?
Yeah, I feel like you kind of have to.
Where'd you get Goose Media from?
Last name's Guzman.
Oh yeah,
So
so
it's like
GUZ.
Yeah, G-U-Z,
Guzman.
man. Yeah. So play on
fine.
words.
Yeah, I was telling someone I'm going on the Goose Pod. They were like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah, nobody knows. It's just fucking
I
underground
was like,
right now.
you know, Aflac? No.
The fucking goose, you know? The fucking goose.
That's a cool name. I like it.
Yeah, you know, but like it's funny because like I found your stuff before like a while back, dude. Like before we even connected, and I was like, "Yo, these guys are dope. They're in the space. Like I think they're in New York. Like, I wasn't even sure where
Yeah.
you guys were based. It was either New York or Cali. I was like, they're definitely
Yeah,
in
we
one of
got
the two.
sort of both coasts. So my business partner Nico, he's out in LA.
How many of you guys total?
Partners, there's 3 partners.
Okay.
full-time team, there's about 10.
Okay.
And then we have a shit ton of contractors, right? Like videographers, photographers, designers who come in and out. Makes more sense to keep them contract. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
I was thinking the same thing, but I wasn't sure. Like, okay, so like just how I'm running things here. I'm coming into the crossroads of like hiring full time or keeping them contractor. What is your like? What are the 10 positions you have, and how do you decide we should bring this guy full time or let's keep him contractor?
So there's a lot of legalities around contractors and what you can do. So I'm not going to speak not financial or legal advice, but when you have a contractor on for a certain amount of time, and if you're telling them where to be, when to be, and like how to show up, that's when it becomes like they should be probably W-2. And there's W-2 part-time, there's W-2 full-time. It also depends like state by state. So we've had contractors on for long periods of time. But you can't just have them like exclusively work on your stuff. So I think there's
Right.
like laws you have to research about and understand.
Okay.
And then it's also like, do you want to have somebody more exclusive to work in your team? Because if they're contracted, they can really F off and do whatever they want.
Yeah.
They don't have to stay loyal. So W-2 was, it makes sense more for like our account managers, our people who are consistently like on calls with clients, right? So like
Is that like sales?
sales team,
customer
like
service.
customer service, sort of like account managers. They're just like
That's what they're called.
yeah,
Account managers. Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
So that comes from like the traditional agency world. Account managers, strategist, you have like the reporting, analytics, data analysts,
Yeah.
shit like that.
So anyone like in office pretty much is
Yeah,
all hired full
which
time.
is funny because now it's just like virtual office, just in office.
But like all your shooters, all your editors are all contractors.
We have editors, we have designers and editors who are full time.
Oh, you do?
Shooters are tough because like we don't have consistent like 4 shoots a month in New York City or 4 shoots a month in LA. I mean, we do, but they don't want to come on full time because they want to have their own freelance
Doing their
deal.
own thing. Yeah.
So like if they're shooting with us 6 days a month, it doesn't make sense for them to be full time,
How do you, because that's currently like where I'm at right now. It's a little bit different with because it's like more periodic or whatever, and everyone's local,
Yeah.
It's not like I have to wait for big events. So like I can kind of hire on a team of full-time editors, but how do you even find top talent? Like,
It's tough.
what do you guys do? Like, what do you
It's
just
tough.
Indeed ads?
We do have interns. We have like a group of 6 interns right now,
Oh, weird.
and they're all volunteer. God bless them. They're amazing.
That's
They
awesome.
save us a lot. And then usually those interns crush and we bring them on. Like,
Yeah?
to some capacity, usually.
Is there a
Um,
training program that they have
there's
to
a
go
lot.
through?
And we try and like really help them. Like we spend a good amount of time. We bring them into like client calls. We have them like touching client content. So like they're able to like edit and honestly, I learned a lot from Vayner, right? Like I was touching Swedish Fish. I was touching like Pepsi. Like I was touching these like large clients. Sure, the content was like a stupid video or like a stupid GIF, but it's not stupid at the end of the day. It's also Pepsi, So
Yeah.
we use our interns a lot to get new employees, but then also just like word of mouth, right? Like people hitting on IG, socials. We post something on stories, everyone shares it, and then it's a great way to find new employees. I mean, Jersey's tough though. Jersey's a little bit tougher in Brooklyn and New York.
Yeah, I was going to say New York. It just filled. You throw a rock and you hit a videographer,
Yeah.
photographer.
Exactly.
Are you in charge of the interviews, or do you have people?
It's sort
for
of
that?
split. We split
Yeah?
it between the partners. Yeah, I oversee all the creative team, so I will be like.
How are the partners split?
It's a good question. I oversee creative. I co-founded it with Sam Heisel. Sam oversees all like sales and new biz, so
Okay.
getting like new business partnerships. And then Nico, who's based out of LA, he does strategy and accounts. So like making sure our accounts are healthy, making sure our team or like strategy team is happy, keeping people in the green as far as like our clientele, making sure that they're doing the things that we need to get done, stuff like that. Yeah.
So you have like a guy that like makes sure everything's good. You have I'm sorry, what was it? Sam?
Sam.
So does he do the marketing part too?
Yeah.
So he does
we sort of
marketing and
split it.
sales?
Yeah. We don't
You-
really
and
do a
you-
lot of like marketing ourselves, I guess. Because like we're so focused on creating client content. He really just has like a lot of like outreach, event sort of
Outreach is marketing, right?
like, yeah, I guess so. You're right. I'm like sales marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
we don't do any paid media. We don't do that yet
true,
for
true, true.
ourselves.
I remember we hopped on a call. I don't know if you remember
I
this, but
remember
you were
this.
like, "Dude, you gotta like do local ads,
You
bro.
should.
Like, fuck, are you doing?"
I
Dude,
feel like you should.
I'm about to start. I don't know what took so long, but like, I'm actually like, we already like got a couple scripts going. We're gonna start rolling them out soon.
Yeah.
Just because like I'm like, dude, I really because I was under the impression that like I can pull all my leads or clients or whatever from just posting organically. And I feel like you can, but it's like for different business models. Those are for like if you have like online stuff you want to sell, like
Yeah.
it's a little easier. But like I think local ads are important.
I mean, because you do operate more locally, I feel like it's a
It's so
easier
important.
win.
Yeah.
For us, it's like we're operating pretty much throughout the whole U.S. and sometimes even internationally. So like it's all remote, and we don't want to come off like too salesy because we're like a more boutique artist, kind of like music marketing agency. So we don't
But
want to
even
be
brand awareness ads.
yeah,
Not even
yeah.
like sales ads. Just
We
be
got to
like,
test it out,
just do
honestly.
dope shit. It's like you guys do dope shit. Like
Yeah.
your fucking page is fire.
I know we've been trying to think about rebranding it. We're trying to think about like
Yeah?
what we
Wait.
should be posting more of or less of.
When you
but
say rebranding, you mean like the green and black?
yeah, because it's so limiting sometimes.
I was about to say,
Having
I was like,
black and
how
white
does
and
it
green,
not get like
It gets on our nerves.
Ugh,
It gets on
yeah,
our nerves sometimes.
I believe it. How do you guys? I mean, would you guys figure out that internally, or would you bring someone on?
Internally, yeah, we have
Yeah.
we have an art director, designer.
true.
I have creative background, so I can, you know,
You were a graphic designer,
graphic-
so you can speak the lingo.
I still get to Photoshop Lightroom sometimes myself.
Yeah.
If I need to jump in, you know.
How does like your customer journey look like?
It's a good question. Usually customers will come to us or we'll find them, and we will onboard them with a solid process that's, over the course of the past 5 years, right? Like we developed this where we'll do sort of like a kickoff call, have like a sort of like interview style kickoff call for an hour, sometimes 2 hours, and just learn like where are they at, where do they want to be, what happened in the past with like previous agencies, what do they want to see more of, what do they want to do less of, and we sort of learn like who they are as a person, who they are as a brand, and we try to like distill all of that down into a like strategy and style guide. And so like a week or two after that call, we'll take that all internal. We have a bunch of internal meetings, and then we'll come back to them with another presentation. It's like, all right, from that call and where we think you should be and what's working, what's not working, this is what we're seeing. So we'll break down like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, YouTube, and we'll just like audit their socials, and then we'll suggest things. We'll have content streams in place. We'll have sort of example content where they should be going. And then sometimes the feedback is good. Sometimes the feedback is bad. And sometimes you have to clients hire us for a reason. They want us to understand their brand, but also like push them out of their comfort zone. Right. Cause like you said, comfort is like the enemy sometimes, where you're just like posting the same kind of content every single day. You're not going to see something change unless you get lucky in the algorithm. Right. So if you're posting widescreen videos and the first 3 seconds is not engaging enough, then I could tell you right away why your shit's not working.
No.
Why you're not posting vertical videos, why you're not playing to the algorithms, why you're not jumping on at least one trend a month, right? I'm not telling you to like do TikTok dances and be corny, but all that stuff would be in that like strategy and style guide. We from there get into like straight up content creation process. So we'll either do shoots with them where we'll be local, like in New York, LA, Miami, Atlanta, Nashville, like all those major hubs. We have content creators, and then we'll plan a shoot. We'll show up to the shoot and have like a shit ton of ideas, like 20 different ideas to shoot, and we'll ideally get like 5 to 10 solid ideas out of that day. So
how does that? Okay, so I have a couple questions. So let's start with the first one. Is obviously your time is valuable as a creator.
Yeah.
Is there some sort of like deposit that they have to put to have that call and then have you do all those meetings, or is it just kind of like?
So the sales calls are really like there's usually 2 or 3 sales calls, right? Like
So they're paying before they hop on that call.
Well, the sales calls are not paying, obviously. So like we're talking to them 2 or 3 times. We're like, hey, here's how much it costs. Here's what you get. Here's the sort of scope of work. Once they lock in, they're like, all right, we need this for our brand. We need this for like our artists that we manage. Then we go into straight up like go mode. So once they agree, they sign a contract, they pay us the first invoice, and then from there it's like a monthly retainer. Usually it's like a 6-month minimum.
Okay, so it's an upfront charge plus 6 months retainer after that.
Yep. Every month at like just like rent, like the first of the month, it'll be, due upfront.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So like just percentage wise, is it like 50% upfront and then the other 50% split between the 6 months or something?
So the first month's usually due upfront, and then like every month after. It'll be
Oh,
like,
so it's all the same payment.
yeah, same like payment schedule.
Got
Yeah.
it. And
As long as we get paid up front, because like obviously
You
working in
need
the
it
music
to-
industry, like I've been burnt so many times.
I believe it. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, even same, like even with other stuff, just in the media industry in general, it's like if you need that upfront payment to like get
And
'cause
contracts, bro. Our contract is like 7 pages long now.
dude, that's awesome. I need better contracts for sure.
Yeah.
Because like the more I do, the more I learn too. I'm like, oh shit, add that in the contract.
Contracts.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm planning a wedding right now, and I'm even reading like some contracts I'm signing. I'm like, wait a sec, revisions are how much? And I'm like, I can't have a say in like what you do in my video. And I'm like, this is not cool.
That's funny.
Contracts are super important, right? Like we've been burnt many times. We've had to like litigate and like go after lawsuits on some people, and
Oh shit.
it's not the that and firing people is the two most uncomfortable shit that you ever have to do as a business owner.
Yeah.
But it's just shit you have to do. You can't let people walk all over you, because then it's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
Defining a clear scope of work up front, that's also like one of the toughest things to learn in this business. It was like,
You kind of have to like productize it too, right? So
Yeah.
that way you can define that scope, right?
exactly. So like, what defines an asset? What defines a video?
Or a revision. That's the worst
what
one.
defines,
What defines
a revision?
a revision?
Yeah, like, like are we talking long form videos? Are we talking short form videos? Are we talking a whole movie? What are we talking about? So defining all that in your contract is pivotal. But yeah, upfront payments every month. It's a retainer based service. We don't force anybody to stay. Like if they're unhappy after a couple months and it's just not a good fit, we'll find a way to break the contract. Obviously,
Okay, that's cool.
rarely happens, but sometimes if an artist is like on a tour, they have something personal going on, like, it's people. We're dealing with people at the end of the day, so it's not like we can just say no, pay me. Just gotta sort of don't want to burn bridges. So you have to be human at the same time. You can't just be like, fuck you, pay me.
Yeah, no, because it's like it's a line you walk, right? It's like being a reputable business and also having that human empathy.
Exactly.
Okay, so boom, I pay you the first initial payment. We hop on this call. You guys do all of this meeting work prior to even shooting. How long does it take from that really, what do you call it? A discovery call
Kickoff call?
A kickoff call to day one of filming? Like how long is that gap?
It's sometimes been like, sometimes we've had a sort of film before we even had the kickoff call, because it depends on where the artist or where the brand is in their campaign launch.
True.
Right? Like sometimes we've had to move. I mean, we're flexible. That's the good thing about us. Like we're not going to be like, it needs to be 3 weeks from now. But the most ideal is like, we're doing a kickoff call within that first week. We're doing like the strategy and style guide within a week or two after that. And then from there, we have everything aligned. We're going into that shoot with like, all right, here's a mood board. Here's content streams. We're all on the same page.
Content streams is like inspo you pulled?
No, content streams like defining what a brand or what a person should be creating. So like, let's say for like your socials, you want to create like 25% of it's going to be podcast clips, 25% is going to be behind the scenes.
Oh,
so like different streams.
that's what
where
it's
you're
called?
I mean, everyone calls it different, I'm sure. We just call it content streams.
No, that makes sense.
It's like revenue streams. You know, like how you have multiple revenue streams? That's like sort of how we think about it. So
Oh, true. Yeah, I'm start using that.
content
Streams. Yeah.
You
Gotta
need multiple.
diversify your.
You don't want to have the same. You don't want to be like talking to the camera, just being like, "Hey, today I did this."
But okay, so this is an interesting thing that because I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I've also seen content where I don't know if you ever saw it, but this girl, she's working with her boss, right? And her boss is gonna fire her in 30 days if she doesn't smash the can, or like if they don't hit the thing. And so it's her doing the exact same video, just smashing it in different ways.
Yeah.
Do you think that is more effective than having a diversified stream?
That's a good question. I think. Okay, so. Good example. You know Caleb Simpson, the dude who goes around New York City and says, "How much you pay for rent?" That
Yes,
dude.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
our first hire at Knox. Like one of our
Wait,
first
you
employees.
guys hired him?
He was one of our first employees at Knox. He was our videographer, which was such a crazy thing because like he Is from then until now.
He's
like,
a
I'm
cool dude.
super cool dude.
Yeah.
And I still talk. And if you notice in his videos, he'll still rock like the Knox merch sometimes.
No,
The gray hoodie. And I
that's
shout out
dope.
Caleb because I fuck with that dude. I haven't seen him in a while. But like he found something that it just works.
Yeah.
Like if you find something that works. Also, I just see Ray Dalio. That was one of my clients too. At
Wait,
Vayner.
Ray Dalio?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm going all over the place.
No,
yeah.
you're good, bro.
We'll go back to that.
John C. Maxwell too. He was your fucking.
Nah. We'll go back to that. But
Yeah.
for example, Caleb Simpson, right? Like he's been creating content for himself for 4 or 5 years, probably before he found that content stream. That chick on Instagram, I don't know how she found that stream, like that specific one, but if it works, fucking triple down on that shit, right?
Yeah.
And that's why like a lot of clients come to us because they're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't have time for social media. I just don't want to do it. So like we're gonna go out and we'll be like, all right, let's diversify the shit out of this. Let's come up with like different content streams. Let's see what works. That's why we like to have at least 6 months of a minimum contract because you can't find out within 2-3
not
months.
even 3 months.
You know.
Yeah.
And I'm curious actually how long she's been doing that kind of like posting.
That's
Is
what
it
I'm
recent?
saying. So I looked at her page and it started like a couple months ago. So it's very new. It's very like 3 months. But what I'm assuming is like maybe it was an old page.
Yeah, she might have
and then she
archived.
deleted everything or archived everything prior to that. Because I was like, it doesn't make sense. Like it's too good to be true.
Yeah,
So
there's also some like industry plan kind of stuff. Like we're seeing that more and more in socials. Like who's that girl who has that podcast where she's
that
like
Bobby.
Like people were saying like she was like a plant because people might have like talent agencies behind them that are like helping push it, right?
Like what's the agenda, do you think?
Just to sell it or to get sponsors.
Is that what an industry plant is? Or just someone easy to sell?
I mean, if you're going to a platform with a shit ton of money, and I'm not saying that Bobby or this other person is,
but it
like,
does exist.
It does exist, especially in the music industry. Like if you have, you have money behind you, you have people at TikTok who are like pushing your stuff from like a record label perspective. That's the definition of an industry plant.
True.
There's a lot of. I mean, people say Lil Nas X is an industry plant. I mean, who knows? People say everything, but I mean, I don't really follow it, but I wish I had some rich parents who would put me up on a platform. I'd be sick.
Facts, right? I'd be like,
sick.
yo.
But anyway, back to Ray Dalio, and I hope this isn't under NDA, but he was a Vayner talent client. So like,
no way.
This is another thing within Vayner. Gary is really good at creating pods that are teams within the agency, and then they like all work together within the agency. Super cool.
Is it like one person is like the nucleus of that pod manager?
Yeah, so there'd be like a SVP, like a vice president, senior vice president, and then there'll be like a hierarchy in each team. So I started in like the production company, the Vayner Productions, and then I moved to like Vayner Talent, which was pretty much
Hiring?
What'd you say?
Hiring? Vayner Talent?
So Vayner Talent is people who want to be like Gary and want to create a shit ton of content like Gary's creating. So
there was a kid that like left Vayner Media to start his own YouTube channel, and like you probably know who I'm talking about more than I do.
A lot of them do that.
Really?
A lot of Vayner ex-employees do that because
I never heard of the kid since. I saw one video with him and Gary. That was it.
dang,
I think.
I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, I hope so too. Shout out, buddy. I don't remember who he was, but
so yeah, Vayner Talent was a smaller team within Vayner that was pretty much a larger version of what Knox does, right? Like they were charging 5 digits a month for like content creation, automation, strategy. And I don't know if the team is still in there, but I migrated to that team. And Ray was one of our clients because he actually was just launching his book. And
this one? Principles?
I think actually, can you pull it down? I want to see who designed that cover. I think one of the designers of the actual cover was a Vayner employee. Is it on the front?
No way. So that's not the original cover. It had like one of those paper covers. But
but even this like front, I'm curious if it says it anywhere. Does it show?
Have you ever read it?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I have not. I gotta dive in deeper.
Ray Dalio's
I'm reading Gary's new book right now.
Oh no way.
Yeah.
It just came out, right? Yeah.
Day trading.
Day trading.
Day trading.
Day trading
attention.
Yeah.
I can't find the.
Yeah, I don't know if it would even be on there.
Dang, I think it was my boy Andrew. But it's such a simple and clean cover.
It's so simple.
Dang, he didn't get any credit, huh?
I don't know. It might have been on the paper because there was a paper over it.
But so that was a smaller team within Vayner. Um, we were doing like his Twitter, his Facebook, and his Instagram, pushing the book. It's like, Ray's a busy dude. He doesn't have time
He's like
to.
a billionaire, bro.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. I'm like, yo, how do I hit a beat? It's like there's a lot of work from now to that time.
I've been trying. I'm just trying to hit a couple M's.
I mean, yeah,
I don't really
right?
want to be. I don't think I want to be
A billionaire?
No, I don't want to be a billionaire.
Really?
I thought about that a lot, bro. I've seen what money does to people, and I think it can really destroy people.
Dude, I have this theory. I don't know how true it is, but I was talking to my wife about it, and I was like, in order to get a B,
You have to sell your soul.
not just that, but I think you have to like have like blood under your shoes. Like you like someone has to die. And I got a little dark really quick, but
Yeah.
I think
Jeff Bezos probably kills some people.
not him, but like
He hires people.
Yeah,
He hires people for sure.
yeah,
It's just becoming a conspiracy theory
Yes.
podcast.
But no, but that's sick though. Like I mean, to have Ray Dalio as a
the
fucking
experience. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're able to get an internship at a company like Vayner, and that's like a great jump point to like the next thing. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like I worked at 3 different companies within one company.
and not only that, but you met top tier people.
So many dope people, and we were all like young hustlers. One of your cameras cut?
No, I think Ian, was that you? Yeah,
No.
he's over there getting BTS or something. I don't know.
We met. I mean, I've met some of the dopest people who were all like around my age, and we were just like hustling, and like we were creating content for like some of the biggest Fortune 500 brands. I mean, obviously, like the people who were like presenting and like showing it were like the older, more buttoned up, like account managers wearing all the not even suits, but wearing like button ups. But even then, like Vayner was such a dope place to work because like it was young, the energy was like infectious. Everyone was like grinding.
That's yeah. I feel like Gary V. That's part of the culture, right? Like
Yeah.
that's ingrained in him is that grind, and so
Sometimes
it makes
too
sense.
much. Sometimes you grind too
Yeah.
much. But I mean, at the end of the day, like it's social media, so I feel like burnout is real, and like if you don't catch yourself and flag it, to like
Have you ever seen Gary burn out? Or you're just like, oh shit.
Nah, not Gary. Gary's a fucking machine.
He can't. He's energized.
I think
Bunny.
he's a cyborg, bro.
It's alien.
Nah, he. I've never seen. It's just like the videos. It's crazy. It's like he's like one of
he
the
is
most
who
real.
he is,
Yeah.
even on and like.
Very empathetic. I had like an exit interview with him. He was super just real. He was like, if you ever want to come back or things don't work out, like,
That's cool.
shoot me an email. I'll occasionally shoot him an email. I invite him to my wedding. He can't come, but I was a little upset about that. But I mean,
It is
busy
what it
man.
is.
I didn't
Yeah.
expect him to come.
That would have been sweet though.
That would have been sick.
With the photos, yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
I want to. I'm sorry if I'm like harping too much on like the operation side of it. I'm
Yeah,
just.
no,
I'm
you're
so
good. Let's get
fascinated.
tactical.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
get
so
tactical.
fascinated by it. Like genuinely.
And give you my secret sauce though.
What's the secret
I
sauce?
said
man?
I'm not giving you my secret
Oh
sauce.
no! Don't wait. What
I'm
is
kidding.
that? What is that around? I don't want to.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, it's an agency, so like we're not doing anything that's like crazy unique. We're just executing quicker, less expensive, and better than some people.
So for those of you who don't know, like Knox is like way ahead of Goose, like in the media. So
No, we're
you're-
not. You have a studio. I don't even have a space.
You don't need a space.
That's true.
The fucking
My space is right
content-
here.
Yeah, like what? And right here. Like fuck.
Yeah. Well, shout out COVID. Only good thing about COVID was that we're all able
You
to
can work from home now, right? How do you like that? Because I need a place, especially like with the
Yeah.
kids too. It's like I need a place to go to
Yeah, so
work.
how many? Like, where do you live? You have like a
I
couple
live
bedrooms.
5 minutes.
Do you have like an apartment or like a house?
It's like a 2-family house.
2-family house.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I told my fiance, I'm like, when we have kids, I need like a garage or like a separate
Something.
door.
Man cave. Something.
Because yeah, even like, we have like pets. My fiance will come in. I'll be like on a call. I'm like, I'm in the middle of like a client presentation. It's not easy. But I miss the office vibe. But at the same time, I feel like I'm most focused, like just in my house.
Really.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I wish I had that level of not dedication, but like discipline
Yeah.
to be able to just fucking hone in. I'm like, nah, dude. I'm like,
You can't be. I used to have a home office in my bedroom, and I learned that when you separate like your desk, like a total separate, far away from your bedroom as possible, that's when you can like separate shit a little bit more.
I learned it in Atomic Habits. It was like you need to have a place and then dedicate that place to one particular task,
Yeah.
and then it kind of builds that habit.
It's also a write off if you're a freelancer
Yeah.
or if you're a company.
Dude, I did
You can
that
write
for the
off.
longest with this. I was like, yo, one of my
This is a
bedrooms is a
write-off.
fucking, yeah. I was like, this is great. I could-
Not financial advice, but you should
Yeah,
be
no,
writing off
def-
your home office. You should definitely be writing it off. I think it goes by like square footage.
yes.
Zoom, yeah, but it's definitely something big.
So okay, so I'm gonna tell you like where I'm at right now. So like I am in the phase of one, I need to understand who I am as a company to be able to like repeat that to new hires, right?
Mhm.
Because before I just kind of like hired people and I was just like, yeah, just do you. Like you're cool, you know,
Yeah.
like whatever, you're good.
What's
I
their job
trust you.
title?
Right.
What's their role? What's their responsibility?
Right. And it was because we're so small, they were wearing like five
Yeah.
different hats. So they were like, they were genuinely confused. It was like, wait, am I this or am I this? And then one day I'm doing this, one day I'm doing that.
And usually you can't find people who are good at everything. You'll
Yeah.
find, I mean, you know, like when you hire people, it's like they're usually good at one or two things, but they're the best at those one or two things and they're good at everything else.
Take me to the early stages of Knox when it was just y'all three. Like
So it was
thugging
actually
it
just
out.
Sam and I. Nico came in a couple months after, but it was Sam and I in Brooklyn working out of like each other's apartments. First 6 months was scary. We were making like no money, quit our jobs. I quit first. I think Sam quit like a couple months after me.
Just to follow y'all's dream.
Yeah.
Like, that was the reason y'all quit.
Yeah.
I love that.
And we started sort of like what Vayner was doing right and what things we didn't agree with. And we said, all right, we're going to do it ourselves. To be honest, I also saw what they were charging for my time. And I was like, that's my hourly billable rate. And I was like, I can do it myself. But then, you know, now as a business owner, I'm like, I understand
get
why
it.
they were charging that much and I understand
Yeah.
how much energy and time goes into that because it's not just, you know, that money shouldn't just be going to me. There's overhead, there's equipment, there's all this shit that goes into it. So I quit Vayner, Sam quit Vayner. We started Knox. We had a client who was a homie of ours from Vayner. We just reached out to like a lot of different people within our network and we're like, hey, starting this new agency, doing similar stuff in social media space, but we're doing it XYZ way. We're focusing more on artists and talent, and we want to be more of like a personal branding agency, right? So like working with, not that Ray Dalio and all these other entrepreneurs are not dope or cool, but we just wanted to focus more in that like cultural space. Like
Is your
where,
positioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's how you position
so
yourself.
like that was our niche and that was where we focused in.
On what? Oh, that was your niche. Yeah, yeah.
Niche, yeah. And so one of our first clients was a homie of ours, sort of gave us the client. We didn't have a bank account set up, and we had a client like sign a contract to the name Knox.
Oh shit.
so, like-
fuck, how do we cash this?
Yeah, no, they wrote a check out to Knox Media, and we had to like run to Chase Bank. We had to like set up an account. We were Googling like LLC setup, and we had a LLC already set up, but like we were registered in Delaware for whatever reason. Like people tell you to register in Delaware, so
Because it's cheaper with
it's
like
better for
bullshit, yeah.
law and stuff. So like it was a whole pain to get a Chase Bank account set up in New York for whatever reason. So
Real quick, prior to this, how did you guys figure out pricing? Did you guys do market research or did you know kind of
we knew what
Vayner
what
was?
Vayner was charging. We knew what competitors were charging.
So you just kind of like
I
found
mean,
your
Vayner I think is like $25K a month minimum
just to start.
just to start, and that's like ongoing retainer. I think we were charging 4 or 5K minimums.
But like, what is the deliverable on that?
It's just like a scope. Like there's multiple tiers we figured out. So we were just looking at what our competitors are doing. We were looking at like, well, we sort of broke down like, all right, if they're paying us 5K a month, how much of that's going towards Sam or my time or a contractor's time? And when we first started, it was just Sam and me. Like I was the shooter editor. He was the sales and account person. He was leading all the calls. He was leading all the presentations, all the things that I didn't want to do. And then he was leaning on me to create the content and to get the content done and deliverables and all that stuff. So we made a great team because like we were hitting both sides of the sort of field. And then from there, it's just like referrals. Like, hey, we did this for this person. Like, do you need that same service? And you just keep on doubling it up, hopefully.
Do you remember what the scope was for your first client?
Bro, I remember we were doing like 40. This was when short form videos were just popping off. We were doing 40 short form videos a month and strategy and posting. And I think it was like 7 or 8K a month, which was actually pretty good.
It's solid, yeah.
Pretty solid. But like this was before AI. This was before captions were like transcribed automatically. We were like manually captioning videos. And we were shooting a lot of it too. So
It was music artists, yeah?
this first client was like an entrepreneur.
So like, how do you? Was it a lot of talking heads? I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
talking
Yeah. Right.
heads.
Okay.
And we would like do a lot of like conference style kind of content. So like we go to conferences, shoot with them.
Oh, that's cool. Kind of like Gary Vee stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So like that's what Vayner Talent was, and I think it just didn't work out for. And I don't know if it's still a thing, but it didn't work out because it was heavy and sort of hard to keep that overhead and everything for like a person to pay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a person paying 25K a month is a lot of money,
Yeah.
but you pay us 6 to 8K. It's a little more reasonable, especially if you have an ROI on it, especially if you're getting booked at more conferences, if you're getting your books on more shelves or sold more. So that was our pitch. Not to rip off Vayner, but to take some of those ideas and pull from other agencies and what Vayner was doing. We were seeing like some other agencies that were more in the music space and how they were
I think Gary Vee's a proponent of that too, because he's always trying to find arbitrage this, arbitrage that. It's like, okay, well, that's
yeah. I'm hoping Gary purchases Knox one day. That'd be nice.
dude, that'd be sick.
That'd be a full circle moment, huh?
Dude, honestly, I could see that happening though. Yeah,
That'd be sick. I'm put out there. Gary,
Vayner
if you want to
Knox,
purchase
Knox
Knox,
Vayner.
it's not for sale yet, but in the future maybe.
Soon, yeah.
I'd be bored if I had no job, you know?
That's
If I
a
just
thing
sold it.
too. Yeah, it's like, what do I do after this? It's like,
Yeah.
fuck. But okay. So this is helping me understand, because like at the end of the day, dude, like the people I come in contact with are not other people in the media industry, and if they
Yeah.
are, they're not like in it. It's just
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna edit some videos and make it look cool. I'm trying to, like, would you guys consider yourself like corporate?
Nah.
No.
I mean, I think we're getting to corporate. I think we're still like not small biz, but like boutique, I guess you could say.
Boutique's a good name.
Boutique
Yeah.
agency. Because when you get to corporate, I think like boring
Yeah,
suits,
Yeah.
gray, black and white.
But
And when you
was
get
Vayner like that though? Because I would consider Vayner
Nah,
corporate for sure, and I don't think it was
early days
gray.
it wasn't. I mean, when I left, it wasn't. I don't know how it is now. I haven't been. I have a couple friends who still work there, but I know when you have an agency that's expanding that quickly and getting that large, like you have to bring in like other larger agency heads, like you know,
Yeah,
people who
yeah,
come
yeah,
from the Omnicoms and these like large New York City agencies that are working across billions and billions of dollars in marketing budgets. So I'm sure it gets corporate, becomes corporate, but I think the culture is still probably one of the most fun. Like,
True.
and I bet you people would rather work at Vayner for a little bit less money than work at like a more corporate agency for a little more money.
Yeah.
At least I would.
Yeah. Anyone creative, I think, would prefer
Yeah.
that.
But you still have that. You have like the analysts who like just look at data all day. Like they see like what's working, what's not working.
But you guys have that too.
Yeah, we had that.
Yeah.
To a smaller degree.
True.
But our main hires are like account managers to service the clients and then creatives.
An account manager is someone just focusing on communication with the client and the management of posting.
That management of posting is more of a strategist role. So like
Really?
account manager, then digital strategist underneath it.
And those two pretty
two
much working
together,
hand in
like
hand.
hand in hand.
So, okay, if I'm a new client of Knox, right? I come in, boom, we start the monthly retainers for 6 months. I'm going to get an account manager and a strategist.
And probably art director will be on the calls. I might be on the calls. Nico might be on the calls. Like,
Is it the same strategist and art director for
Nah.
it's
now we have like 10 full-time employees, including the partners.
how many art directors do you guys have? Or strategists?
Digital strategist, 3.
And what was the other one? I lost.
Account managers.
Yeah, how many account managers?
4.
Huh. And so I'm assuming they split some of the work between
Yeah.
clients,
No,
right?
it's like different pods. Like some account managers will share like 4 or 5 clients, you know? Like you can't have one account manager on one client unless they're paying you like $1 million a year. These clients are
Right.
paying
Yeah,
us
obviously.
more, fair. Not that it's not fair to pay $1 million, but a more reasonable rate.
Or just
Yeah, it's different level of.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll be charging $1 million sooner or later.
Per client? Oh, see, it's gonna be sick. Yeah.
That's what these agencies are charging though,
Dude,
like Vayner.
Yeah, like I already know. Like and I see like the Alex Hermosis or like those types of people, and it's like, dude, they're just raking in like millions a month. Like, which is fucking insane, dude.
That's a tough thing too. Is like in the music space, you're competing against people who are throwing themselves at clients, like free work.
Would you pivot
out of music?
Yeah.
Or I think music will always be there for us. I think talent, entrepreneurs, CEOs, would be like where the budgets and where it's a little less competitive in that space. But I think where we want to be is like finding the intersection of brands and music. We found some like really interesting case studies when we work with brands and
Yeah.
they want access to talent that
When you
we
say
have access to.
brands, when because
Cannabis brand, casino brand, we work with them. And I mean, it could be anything. It could be a camera brand. It could be,
but I'm just saying when I think brand, I think someone's perspective of a company. But when you
Yeah.
say brand, it's the company.
yeah,
Okay.
like
okay,
an
okay.
actual
Okay,
brand.
okay. Got it.
I guess you could call it like a.
It's a
UGC.
company.
Yeah, it's a company. I mean,
Right?
anything could be a company, but I'm
Yeah.
thinking like lifestyle brands is the core of where we're.
Oh, got it.
Lifestyle
Okay,
brands.
okay. I see
So
what you're
like
saying.
clothing
Yes.
brands,
Got it.
tech brand, stuff like that. Tech companies.
Okay. Well, if you like, so like, out of how would you split the pie of your client base right now?
Right now, it's like 80% music, 20% brands, 20% companies. I guess you could say.
Well, no, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
We want it to be more 50-50.
Yeah?
That's the future.
got you.
I think the budgets need to be the budgets when you work with brands versus music is just
It's
different.
so much. Yeah.
You look at the market cap of like music, it's
Dude,
limited.
I peeped that. I was like, yo, I had my first commercial brand, and like I was like, yo, this is different. Like
Yeah.
they're the ones that are like, did you get the wire?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, dude, thank you.
I think I've seen a meme where it's,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
it was like the clients who pay right away and pay the most money are the ones who will give you the least amount of trouble, and it's so
It's
true.
so true, yeah.
Why?
Because it's less percentage of their total income.
That's it.
And so they don't care. It's
don't
like
care.
me giving you
It's like
$5.
pennies.
It's like,
Yeah.
I don't care, dude. It's $5.
Yeah, give me $5.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but that's very true. And when you get to that level, it's like, dang, this is why I need to be working with more brands.
How do we get more of those clients? Of those top tier clients?
That's the secret sauce I don't have the answer to. We're
Paid
starting
ads.
to learn the answer.
I think it's paid ads.
So if you're local working with like companies local, I think paid ads is great.
But local companies are not big brands.
They're not small mom and pop brands. But
Right.
what about franchises? I mean, there's a lot of
Franchises are interesting because we did dabble in that in the restaurant space. And it just depends on who owns that franchise, you know? And you know,
once you're in there though, I feel like once you're in there with a franchise, like you can.
you think it's like a wildfire where like you work with
Yeah.
this one and then I know
a couple people who are in the franchise business and franchise space and
for
like
media.
no, just like own franchise and like they have to work with this marketing team or like they have to work with
Why
like
do they have to?
specific, like when you have a franchise, you have to follow rules of the franchise. Like you have to order specific things from the suppliers. You have to have your branding of Subway look exactly like every other Subway, right? But like same thing with the marketing is like you have to work with these marketing teams that are like vendors that are qualified and vetted out and approved by the franchise headquarters.
Yeah. So my thing is I'll hit up the actual owner of that
The
franchise.
franchise.
And that leads nowhere. Whereas
Yeah.
like in order to do what you're saying, you have to hit up the higher
I mean,
ups
it's worth a shot.
and let it trickle down.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah, how do I even reach them, dude? Fucking LinkedIn Premium? Like,
No,
fuck,
you probably
dude.
go to like their franchise website where they're like, I'm sure. I mean,
Oh, like, and find their email
yeah.
somewhere in the website.
And I'm not talking like McDonald's. I'm talking like the gym down the block that has like 20 franchisees or
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. Because McDonald's probably has
It's
something like a
insane.
Vayner or something like
Yeah,
a
exactly.
Omni, But yeah,
Huh. Yeah, I mean, you said music was your niche, right? And this is like something I'm always like playing around with is like, okay, and I think like even Gary was a big speaker on this, but like if let's just say you're Knox, right? We only focus on music. We're building bridges from a brand to music, and we're connecting those dots through our media, right? Like that is Knox. That's who we are. That's who we breathe. That's our fan base. That's our audience.
Yep.
And now it's like, but we do stuff for entrepreneurs now, and now you're starting to see more entrepreneurial stuff on our page because that's just our clients. We got a couple of them, and that's growing. Do you think that's going to conflict with your core audience and they're going to be like, oh, fuck these guys? Or are they going to be like, no, that's dope?
I mean, at the end of the day, we're not a media company ourselves.
What are you?
We're an agency that services clients. So like if a client comes to us and says, hey, I'm a weed company, or hey, I'm a plant D2C company that like wants to sell more plants, we're not going to be like, oh, we don't work with As long as the dollars and cents make sense and we can help them, we're going to work with them because we understand socials at the end of the day. So we're not creating content for ourselves. We're creating content for our clients.
I mean, I get that. But like the content that you do create for yourself. So like for me, it's like if someone, like I had a lawyer hit me up not too long ago asking for work, and I was like, no, I wasn't gonna say no. I only work with realtors. Like I was like, of course, bro. Like,
but it's similar, right? Like lawyer content is not that far from realtor.
yeah,
content.
no, it's not. It's not.
So that's the same way we think about it. Like artist content is
but
not
I don't
that
promote
far
it on my page.
You don't promote it. See,
and I was wondering if I should start.
And yeah, that's that. We also work with a lot of different brands that we don't promote on our page either.
Yeah,
or
because
like
it's not on your brand.
Yeah,
right?
And that makes sense. I'm like, where we want to get to is content we're going to post on our page. Yeah, like we're going to post obviously like the bigger artists that we work with.
That's the thing is like once I have more lawyers, then I'll start posting just because it'll look like I work with a bunch of lawyers.
Another idea is you can just divide up smaller agencies within your agency or within your company.
So here's my thing is like because I consider myself it was so hard to label what I even do.
Yeah,
right?
It's tough.
And so I was like, I have to be, because I'm not a marketing agency.
What are you?
I'm a creative video agency.
You just said agency.
I know, but I don't feel like an agency. And then here's another thing is like, am I an agency? Because what an agency does is connects the client with essentially a freelancer or contractor, gets the work done. They're just a middleman, essentially.
I don't know if that's still true, though. I think agencies are...
That's what agency means.
Well, okay, we're a full service agency. So
what does that mean?
Full service means we do it all in-house. We don't just connect the dots. And that's what Vayner was too. And that's
full
what most
service agency
I think that's
means?
what most agencies are becoming because they don't want to just
you have
subsidize
to.
and arbitrage. I mean,
okay, that helps me genuinely
full
because
service.
I'm a full service agency. Then I'm just a full service creative video agent. That's a long fucking name.
No,
dude.
you could just say we're a full service agency focused in XYZ, right? Like focused in short form video content.
Okay,
but another idea that I had with even Knox and just like other friends in the agency world, I'm like, would it make more sense to create a music entity of Knox Music? Should we create a
But then
a
do
brand?
those require their own Instagram pages and own Facebook? And then it requires a new manager to run all of those?
Yes. But are you going to get more clients in that niche where you want to focus on? Probably.
Or is it better just to combine them all into one and just we are Knox?
Yeah, that's what we do right now.
Okay.
We are Knox.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's working. I'm not gonna if it's not broken.
If it ain't
I'm not
broke,
gonna,
don't fix it.
I'm not gonna fix it. But at the same time, when you work with music and talent, and you're trying to work with brands. It sometimes gets a little confusing.
I agree. That's why I'm like, fuck. Like, how do you like it? Just and it's very interesting to get your take on it because these are genuine questions that I'm like, bro, I don't fucking know. Like, I guess I'm a creative.
But
agency.
like, if you're working with realtors, you work with lawyers. I feel like it's very similar type of content.
Okay, so the ones that are off are right now it's majority realtors. I say 80% realtors.
Yep.
10% restaurants, or maybe like 15% restaurants, and then like 5% commercial brand. Restaurants
are probably the biggest like curveball because
but the content's the easiest to make though.
You're working with food or you're working with the people.
No, it's just food. The food is the subject. Yeah. So we're just think food porn, like dirty, greasy, fucking sandwich grabbing.
That's fire.
Yeah.
But that shit works.
Right, and it's so much.
So how much? Okay, let's flip the table. How much are you charging for that kind of shit? Like, what are your packages looking like?
I'm super cheap, bro. I'm super cheap because like this is something that like so.
Do you think that's because you're on a local, smaller business scale? Is that why you're cheap?
Because I don't know how to price myself.
Also, you're not cheap. You're inexpensive. That's something my boy Nico said.
Yes.
You're not cheap. You're inexpensive. Affordable. Yeah. Because if you're cheap, I think your quality shit.
Trash, right? Yeah.
You got to sell it like your premium.
So right. Well, we offer that service as well.
Yeah.
So more recently, but basically, just to give you a little hindsight, we had a developer hit me up. And because like real estate broker, developer, investor, that's all like in the same.
Yeah.
So she hit me up. She was like, yo, like I like your work. And she was like, I got a new development, whatever. Boom. I did that. She was like, hey, great work. I own like 13 restaurants. Can you like start doing the social for one of them? Yeah. We'll see where it goes. And I was like, I never did food before, but like, sure. Yeah. Right. And so like, I just genuinely didn't know how to price myself. So
how much you charge for that first?
Right now we charge for 8 posts a month. I think we're charging like 2 G's.
8 posts a month.
8 posts a month plus management on 3 platforms.
Management is a lot.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So like I was looking at it and I was like it should be like $500 a month for the management side of it. No, or is that too low?
It depends on how you're managing it.
We're posting and
manually-
engaging.
So are you like having somebody in the accounts managing it, or are you just like setting and forgetting it?
No. We have someone in the house in the account
Dang.
managing it and replying to all the comments.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
That's pretty inexpensive. I mean, it's tough because are they doing it? You feel like you're doing a good job at like the $500 rate? Like who do you have doing that?
It's in house. So like I said, everybody here is wearing like 13,
Multiple hats.
17 hats. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, so just to give you an idea of right now what it is, it's me doing all the filming, and marketing and sales, right? That's what I'm doing. My wife is doing all the back end stuff, and she's doing all the hiring, all the like SOPs and making everything like streamlined.
That's important.
Oh my
SOPs.
God, dude, game changer, bro. She was
SOPs
like,
are
"Oh, you
important.
need SOPs." I was like, "I don't even know what that means." Like SOPs? What the fuck is a SOP, dude? She put me on
The
game.
acronym game in the agency world is pretty wild. We have some crazy acronyms.
Oh
in
yeah,
our
dude.
world.
It's I was like, dude, but she comes from that life, you know. She was working at Polaroid, or I don't even know if I say. She was working at a lot of fucking, company. Shout out Polaroid.
But that's good. I mean, that's what makes the world of being an entrepreneur is so great. If you're doing it yourself, you have just your experience.
It's so hard.
If you find partners like your wife or my business partners, like Sam is good at the shit that I wasn't good at. I was never good at like presenting on calls and being in front of
and
like,
vice
large
versa.
crowds.
I don't see Sam. I mean, maybe Sam could shoot. I don't know. No,
he can't.
No shade on Sam.
I mean, he can. He can. He's a pretty good gaffer. Inside joke.
Oh,
but
word?
He says he can gaff.
Okay.
I'm like, you don't know shit about lights, but you can gaff. Nah, that's a joke. But like you gotta just find people who are the yin to your yang and like
That's it. Yeah.
You know?
So basically, like she's also she would be project manager / strategist.
Okay.
In your world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
You're working with your wife though. That's tough. I don't know if I could do that.
So
How is that? How does that work out? Do you
it's-
guys just like turn it off when you enter a specific room? Because like talk about working from home with your wife.
So
I don't know if I can do that.
It's tough. I'll be completely honest with you. It's very hard, and we have 2 girls in the mix too.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of bleeding between work and life. We haven't been able to like set some like rigid lines, which
You need to.
right, but it's easier said than done.
Entrepreneurship, your work and life just starts to become one, and
I'm kind of cool with that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And like, for all extensive purposes, I don't know if I like follow everything Grant Cardone does, but like one thing I respect about him
yeah,
is like he brought his daughter, and I think he has a son too, but like he brought his daughter into it, and he was like, yo, she's like 4 years old, and I put her on a sales call, and now she's
Yeah.
closing deals at 5 years
that's
old.
cool.
And I was like,
That's
I
cool.
respect that. You know what I mean? So I was like, that's the kind of culture I kind of want to create. And so like, I'm cool. Like, dude, this is my life, dude. Like, this is
Yeah.
literally my 3rd child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm cool with everything just kind of blurred. Like, I'm great with my dinner conversations being client, talking about a client meeting with my wife. You know what I mean?
Plus, usually it's a write off if you do that shit. If
I
you talk
know.
about
Yeah.
work.
I know. Yeah.
Not
yeah.
financial advice, but usually if you're working at dinner or talking about work, and if you work with your wife, then yeah, you probably could write that shit off.
Bro, I'm always talking about. I mean, she
is
hates
nice.
it, right? Because she's like, okay, you need to dedicate time to me
Yeah,
and the
of
kids,
course.
and it's like, okay, we'll do that, But like,
You gotta block out time. I've learned that my calendar is like my holy grail of like what I'm gonna do in the week. And if I block out time like for a date night or something, like I'm trying not to answer any calls unless it's an emergency. But she understands. I think you just have to find a partner who understands. And you did, and I did.
well, don't get me wrong, it's not easy.
No, it's
right?
not.
It's a
not.
lot of constant battles, but at the end of the day, we're fighting the same war. You know what I mean? So like in that sense, like we're both on the same page. But yeah, it's very difficult. And I think that's why we are trying to streamline and start scaling a little bit, because like we need more people to operate the system, whereas like our time is very limited right now in the sense of like, family and work and stuff. But that's pretty much how it works. It's just me, my wife, and Ian. Ian's the main editor. Yep.
Let's go.
There he
I
is.
see his hand.
It was great. He's actually my cousin-in-law.
Okay.
We pulled him
Family
in.
business.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's smart.
We're mom and pop, dude. Like legit
Yeah.
mom and pop. And dude, he didn't fucking know shit. What, 4 years ago?
Just talking shit about Ian.
I know,
There. He don't know shit. I taught everything Ian knows.
But yo, you know what's crazy, dude? There was one point in time where I was like, yo, Ian, I'm not editing. I'm not touching another piece of like software, film, nothing.
That point in your business is the most important point. When
Yeah.
you can relinquish your trust and just like put into somebody else is like game changing.
I realized 80% is my like threshold. If you can
Yeah.
hit 80% of what I'm capable of, I'm cool
Yeah.
with letting the reins go.
Because how are you going to ever level somebody up if you're just over their
Or
shoulder
how are you
watching
going
their
to level
shit?
up yourself if you're
Exactly.
focused on too much
I feel
insignificant?
like that's some of the most important shit is hiring people, but then trusting them to do what they need to be doing. And if they fuck up, they're going to learn from those F ups. Like,
Big chicken and egg situation. How do you focus on increasing revenue, but also managing hires?
so increasing revenue, I think somebody has told us this many times, but sales cures all problems, right? Like,
But like in terms of capacity, right? So like let's
capacity.
just say like you were filming and editing everything, right?
Yep.
Now let's just say you're making a base revenue stream and like it's working, right?
Yep.
But it's so all of a sudden you ramp up, you get 5, 10 new clients. It's like fuck, I don't know if I have the
Oh
capacity
yeah,
to.
I was. That's where I was burning out. Like that was the point of like weekends were gone, nights were gone.
So did you take a pay cut in order to pay, or were you guys profitable enough to use that in your hiring?
We started to sort of slow down the sales. Like I think it's just a balancing of like slowing down the sales when you need to make sure your team is not going to be getting crucified, right? Like this is like you can't be pushing them too far. There's a limit within how many clients they can operate on, how good of a job they can do on. So
Quality control too, yeah,
yeah,
super important.
it's like when you start to see things start dropping, right? Like you have to obviously roll up your sleeves and get involved, but then you got to slow down your sales higher up. You bring on freelancers. You bring on like you can also bring on like partner agencies and like for example, like if I white labeled your agency to come in and help Knox, yeah, it's like that's a great solution, temporary solution. But like other larger agencies have brought us in to do that for their clients. Like we worked with a major car company, like cars that you probably see. I can't mention their name probably, but this agency hired us to just do community management for them.
What does that mean? Community, like PR?
Like no, like posting and engaging with the content. Like they just didn't understand socials.
That's
like
called community
management.
I thought that was strategy.
Strategy is what's going to
But
go.
a strategist does
Strategy. Yeah, well, in a larger agency, you would have a account manager, a strategist, and a community manager. Community manager is just responsible for like posting,
engaging,
reacting, engaging, and like making sure posts go up, people are tagged. You're engaging with like random accounts that are relevant to the brand. Like that's like growth hacking to the max.
I love how you have like this insight because like you would have probably never known this without Vayner, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was like that was the base of it, and then I learned a lot. Like, because like Vayner might have like an account director instead of an account manager, or they might have like they might have 10 other roles that we didn't need at Knox because we're more of a boutique agency. So like we're not having the account manager's not wearing like 10 different hats, but they are definitely wearing like two different hats, 3 different hats, because it's a smaller agency and it's sort of where it needs to be at. But to answer your question, like revenue versus culture is what I like to adjust it by. Like you never want your culture to be like burnout, grinding nonstop. Maybe there's a week or two of that, but like if it goes on for a month or two, like
sometimes
you need to slow down the sales. You need to hire more people.
But like that's the thing. So like for example, this is real life, right? Like I got an influx of sales, right? We got a shit ton of things coming in my way, and the bottleneck was like we were chilling, we were coasting with just Ian as an editor. All of a sudden, we get all these sales. How the fuck are we gonna edit?
Freelancers.
No, they all suck.
I know,
dude. They're all no offense,
not
guys,
not all
of them, but like.
It's
the
just
ones
tough.
that I worked with were not like good. Or if they were like, no, I can't even say that they were good.
But you can also find other agencies or other production companies that are doing dope shit and they have editors that they're not using.
Can you put me
capacity. On? Yeah.
Like
I got my boys Ferrum Films in Montclair. Have I introduced you to them? Sean? This dude Sean and I go way back. We used to do like music videos on the cheap, and now he's doing like commercial style shit for like Lamborghini.
No
like,
way.
It's insane. Yeah.
That's sick.
But like maybe he has editors he's not using 100%. It's like you guys can share them.
Because
like,
I was gonna say like at the end of the day, I need to start knowing these like pay rates that these editors are charging, so that way I can start building that into my
because they might suck because you're not paying them enough.
But okay, what is a good pay? Like I thought 50 an hour was like
50 an hour. I know some editors who want like 25 an hour, some editors who want 100
So
an hour.
full transparency, I never paid 50 an hour, right? I just
Yeah.
thought that's what you were gonna say because
No,
like,
I know
thought that was
I know
like,
editors who want like 100 an hour because they're freelance and they're just not full time. So
but like their
I think
work backs it up.
I think a day rate of like 500 to 1,000 for like a full day of editing is like average.
But if you need to deliver like 40 shorts,
It's tough to do a day rate.
right?
Yeah, I mean we're moving more to hourly too. That's sort of like where we're just trying to build
It's-
more hourly.
Yeah, that's because like I don't want to like inflate my prices because I can't find a full-time editor. You know what I mean?
But if the quality of the work's gonna get better, then the prices have to go up, right? So like, if your prices are lower, you're gonna get lower quality of editors.
But I also don't
all
want to be
trickles
flip-floppy with my prices. Like if
Yeah.
it's like one price right now because I have a good system, all of a sudden I need to level up the production side of it because we're growing more. So like I
Yeah.
raise my prices. All my previous clients are gonna be like, yo, what the fuck, dude? Like, dude.
Well, they can get grandfathered in, right? You can grandfather in people, and then you can get
Yeah, I guess.
new clients at the higher rate.
Yeah, I guess. I just haven't found a way to like systematically apply that to
Oh, yeah.
everyone.
I mean, you always have to have those awkward conversations, like, "Hey, our prices are going up." I mean,
And then
I've
what
been
happens when
getting
I hire
emails-
them full time? It's like, hey, our prices are going back down. You just
well, if
keep
you hire
them
them
up.
full time, then you still have to. Sometimes you have to cover benefits, insurance.
Mm,
So like, there
true,
is
true,
overhead
true.
involved.
True,
You have to pay taxes, workers' comp, all that stuff.
true.
So
I think that's my
it's usually
biggest
more
struggle.
money, if
is,
anything.
like, is just trying to find like good editors. That's just my biggest.
You ever outsource or go international?
So like outsourcing overseas, right? Like
Yeah.
Upwork, Fiverr.
More like finding teams that are like, yeah, you could use Fiverr.
I don't
Upwork,
like any
but-
of them.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, I was willing to pay the highest person on Fiverr or on Upwork, and the work was not like, no offense to anyone on Upwork or Fiverr.
No, I mean, it's just
haven't
you're
found-
paying. You're paying for what you get, right? Like,
Dude, I was paying 50 an hour for this one kid, and
that's pretty expensive.
right. And I was expecting like quality work, and
Yeah.
it was like subpar.
No, you got ripped.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't even know how to.
But then you just drop them and you move on. Like, if that's not a good fit for you, it would be a good fit for somebody else. Maybe who's making like pharma videos or like corporate kind of videos.
I mean, I don't even. So I guess my biggest thing is like I don't even know the pool to start fishing at because like,
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, posting on your socials, posting word of mouth.
you're saying just like we're looking for editors, hit me
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, like
I never
build
did
like
that
a
before.
Google form and be like, hey, submit this, and this to our Google form, and then we'll call you back if it's a good fit. Stuff like that.
I should try that. It's
I
always the
haven't-
simplest.
there is no secret code to the best place of editors. I haven't found that yet. There are some apps. There's Nova. Have you heard of Nova?
No,
You can find like creatives on there.
I don't like Backstage. I think, but that was more for like
It's
models
kinda
and stuff.
yeah, it's kind of like Backstage and more for creatives. Low
Nova.
key, I was actually working on an app that was going to help solve this, but I never finished it.
Speaking of apps, I want to create. So, what do you use for media delivery to your clients?
Box.com.
What is that?
It's like Dropbox, but way better.
Really? Okay, so I've been
Dropbox
using
sucks.
WeTransfer.
Oh, WeTransfer sucks.
You don't like WeTransfer?
No.
I like it because it's easy on your phone. You can download it on
Is
your
it?
phone. It's super easy. The
But
interface is fairly
Isn't
simple.
can you store like folders and folders of shit?
Yeah,
And you can okay, maybe I haven't
up
used
to
it in a while.
15 terabytes. Right, Ian? 15 terabytes. Yeah, 15 terabytes.
I haven't used
in a
WeTransfer.
portal.
WeTransfer was good at like just sending files and then like it expires in 30 days, right?
Well, I set it so it expires in a year. I also got like I got to pay or whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
Box costs it's like $1,000 a month. It's crazy.
What the fuck? Yeah, I'm
We have like
chilling
30
on Box
members
then.
though.
What the fuck?
We have 30 people in there.
I think we have about 30 people on but I mean, I'm sure we're not pumping out as much content as you are. But yeah, it holds up
It's a
to
lot.
15 terabytes. I mean, I don't know how much.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably similar to Box.com, but why what's the app you're trying to build? What's
So
the
like
solution?
just something that's like my main thing is I need a portal.
Mhm.
Right. Cause like, okay, so like the holes in my customer journey is like, I want to have one place where I can communicate with all my clients. And ideally that would be like a portal and have that same place be where they can view and download or export anything that we send them and have that all in like one place.
And also see their invoices.
And see their if you want to get technical,
I was
have
trying
their
to
invoices,
find the same shit.
yeah, and have it all just
I was trying to
built in
find the
into
same
one.
thing.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't. What about like HoneyBook or any of
I
those?
tried HoneyBook. I don't like it. It's not customizable.
It's also very. I feel like it's more like wedding photographer kind of like
It could be. I know
niche
Pixie Set is very wedding
Pixie
photographer.
set, yeah.
But
Actually, it's funny. I just created a Pixie Set account today.
oh, word.
Yeah, just I had to send like a bunch of photos, but like
Yeah, it's the
Google
best
Drive
for photos. Yeah,
box is
yeah.
not like I was just doing like a one-off.
Yeah, Honeybooks we tried for a little bit. I wasn't a huge fan. It's not customizable. I
Yeah,
wanted something
there is
that's
no
like
solution. I mean, even
and
with us,
project
like
management, like all in one place.
product, you're asking for a lot of product
CRM,
management.
project management, and customer portal with deliveries. I need all of that in one place. What do you use for project management?
Asana.
Asana. We were using ClickUp.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So ClickUp. Asana's been our like, go-to for the past 5 years, but ClickUp I heard is like sort of disrupting that space.
Is it? Oh, okay. So
I mean, I've heard a lot of people on ClickUp.
it's
So I'm
either
like,
that or Monday. Like those were the two.
Monday's whack.
Dude, that's what everyone is. That's what my wife says.
You know why
actually.
Monday's whack? Because I was on the subway one time and there was an ad that said, you know what's worse than going to work on a Monday or something like that? Living in Staten Island. And I was like, what the fuck? I swear to God. It was like it was a direct hit to Staten Island. And I was like,
Yo.
why are you putting this ad on the subway talking shit about one of the 5 boroughs?
Yo,
and
that's
I
crazy.
don't rep Staten Island that hard.
But still, that's home.
That's fucked up, right?
That's fucked. That's pretty fucked up. Yeah.
I'm like, fuck you, Monday. I'm never using you again.
Yo.
But no, Asana's the same shit, but like I think it's more compact and better viewed. I'm gonna try ClickUp though, because I heard a lot of people.
I like
using
ClickUp because it's very customizable.
So why don't we build this fucking app? Because
Dude, I don't know how to start. I do know how to start. It's a lot of fucking money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And a lot of tech and a lot of developing.
We need at least like $250,000 to like really like including all the marketing.
Yeah, because right now we're using QuickBooks for our invoicing and all that, like back end.
Use QuickBooks.
Yeah,
okay. I was
QuickBooks
using
Online.
Stripe.
Stripe is better, I heard, but like even then, like, can you send one of your
Recurring
clients?
payment?
Can you send a client like a link and it's like, here's all the invoices and whatever you owe, like a breakdown of like their statement with Stripe?
They just like itemized receipt.
Not even for like, say we're charging for like 12 months and a client hits us up and they're like, hey, we need to see everything you paid. We paid you guys. And like, what do we owe you? If they owe us like 2 months for whatever reason, they're like behind.
Like a snapshot of their...
like an account snapshot, like a statement, like a balance. Like there is no way to really do that.
No,
I mean,
I
not
never
in
had to.
QuickBooks. But I think as you start to scale and like you have like a monthly retainer, people start asking for like these random requests, and it's like instead of me having to go or my accounting team having to go download like 10 invoices, like I could have just sent them a link. But anyways, that would be a dope solution.
Yeah, no, it doesn't exist.
What else you got to
now.
ask me? I probably got like 10, 15 minutes before.
No, I was yeah, dude. I'm pretty much wrapping up. I'm about to literally as soon as you leave, I got to film these ads to start running them.
Oh yeah, dude, run these ads for real.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know how it
run
goes.
these ads.
Dude, no, I want to say appreciate you for your time, dude. Super cool. Yeah, dude. I mean, after this, dude, if you're cool, let's stay in touch.
Of course.
Let's figure something out with like
hell yeah.
At the end of the day, real talk. My thing is I want to provide value to everyone I meet, right?
Me too, bro.
So like if there's anything that you see, you'd be like, oh, Mike would be like, we could use Mike for this, or like he has a studio space, we can use it. Hit me up, bro. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how much of value I could be to you guys, but like,
no, I mean, if we can crack the code of like finding dope editors, I'm sure we can. There's got to be a pool of dope editors out there.
Dude, plug me in with your boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna connect you with Firm. But I mean, there's always ways other creators can help. Like I found that the reason why I didn't go freelance by myself was because when you work together, you can do bigger and better things.
Okay, so this is we're done. We're pretty much done. But
Off the record?
I mean, I guess
On the record, off the record.
Yeah, I want to do like the whole reason I even started like this space is because I want to start inviting more creatives.
You should do like an event.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not like an
down.
event, just like a round table. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's serious. Like anyone that's sitting at that round table is serious. Everybody's bringing food to the table. Nobody's just eating.
Yeah.
And like, we're all like, okay, you're good at this. You're good at that. You're good at this. You're good at this. Let's fucking make something and like make something happen. Yeah. So,
but then it gets like hella serious and people are like, ooh, I don't know if I should go. I feel like you should start with like a mixer.
wait, what do you mean? What do you mean get serious?
I feel like when you get to like a round table, people overthink that shit and they're like, oh, I'm coming to this like round table and should I even like, who would you have there? Like us? Who else?
So I would probably realistically, I would probably have you, me. We need money, so I would bring investors.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends on what the. So we would have to bring. I would have to find a topic and then build people around that topic and be like, hey guys, this is the plan. So like, all in all, I'm trying to have a building. Right, I showed you right the building that I was like, I'm gonna get this bitch one day.
In Montclair.
Yeah, exactly.
Down the block from me.
It's gonna have It's gonna have a cafe. It's gonna have apartments. It's gonna have a daycare, and it's gonna have. My wife said, my daughter, she's 2 years old, 3 years old. She said it should have a church. I was like, all right, bet we could worship some God in there.
Yeah.
All in one place, right? And so for something like that, we would get an investor on that round table. We would get a realtor, broker, or someone that's doing it, a developer. Get you fucking market the shit out of it, right?
So you're trying to make a building that's like a we work, we live every situation.
It's but mostly targeted for people that are kind of like in my wife and I situation where we're creatives, but we have kids, so like it's kind of hard.
You can just go downstairs.
Exactly. Throw your kids in the fucking child care on the second floor. Yeah. And then go to work downstairs.
That's a lot. It's a lot of businesses in one.
Drink some coffee at the coffee shop.
You can also have a bar. Fuck, we need after
yeah,
work drinks.
But I mean,
that's interesting.
But that's the goal. And in order to do that, I want to I just want to start fucking merging with people, dude. I just want to like be like, yo, you're good at this. You're good at this. Go fucking make something dope. You know what I mean?
That's the coolest thing about starting a company is like allowing other people to do what they want to do and then like paying a salary, and also like they love where they work, you know. Like I think it's dope that we are able to like work remote and not have to like commute to the city. I have some people living in Chicago, New York, Long Island, upstate New York, like,
and it's your call. Like you guys are the one making it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's fucking awesome.
That's what's cool about this shit.
But dude, thank you so much for coming on.
For sure.